I know a lot of you guys probably be thinking, man, I gave her, so much. I cared about her so much. I gave her my all, man. And she still left me. Like, you guys got to understand, man, that, these females, if you care about a woman too much as a man, if you care too much, that's all you got to do is care too much. It's going to turn her off. I know it might sound strange. You might hear women, telling you all these different stories about, guys that she was with, and she cared about them a lot, but they didn't really care about her. And she stayed with them for years and stuff like that. And then eventually, they probably got rid of her and stuff like that. Didn't want her no more. And now she telling you, she told you, she was like, I want a guy that care about me. And then when you showed her that you cared, a lot, it turned her off. She used to text you fast when you first got her number. Now she's texting you slower. It's crazy, right? But she said that she wanted a guy that care about her. You try to hold her tight when you get in the bed with her. Now she's telling you to get off of her. At first she wanted you to, be all over her. Women say that. They say, man, I want a guy that's going to be all over me. But that's not what they mean, man. A lot of you guys be wondering, why do they get turned off? That's the whole point of me watching this video. Why do they get turned off, man? And that's because, man, you showing her insecurity. You're not showing her sign of masculinity. See, really, the woman is supposed to be all over you. The queen is supposed to be all over her king. Because you're gonna be the one that protect her, provide for her, fix things for her and stuff like that. She's supposed to be all over you. She's supposed to be feeling, insecure about losing you and stuff like that. But when a man shows, his insecurities, like you could be dating a man, you just like, you drop all your women that you're dating just for her, right? And every time you do that, every time you drop all your women just for this one chick that you date, you realize like that chick, the more you show her interest, the more you care about her, it turns her off. But when you have a whole roster of women, she be double texting you. But when you don't have no whole roster of women, you cut your women off and then you start, put your all into one basket with this one woman, and you start double texting her, it just, it don't go nowhere. You don't succeed, or you get left because you're showing too much love. I know it's weird, but that's how, a lot of women look at it. Like they look at it as like you being insecure, like you need a woman. Like a man, us men, we shouldn't feel like we need women. We shouldn't feel like that. As a man, we should be secure with ourselves. We should love ourselves. We should be okay with a woman or without a woman. That's a masculine trait. Feminine trait is you feeling like, oh, if I don't have this woman, I ain't gonna have nobody that's gonna love me. That's all insecurities that, arouse, that give you that scarcity mindset, and that's feminine energy. That's how the woman supposed to be feeling about you. She's supposed to be doing different things to try to keep you, not the opposite, not the other way around, because she need a provider. She need a protector. We don't need, us men, we don't need a provider or a protector. We don't need that. We should be masculine enough and confident enough, to protect ourselves. If you can't protect yourself as a man, a woman not going to be attracted to you. She's not going to want no man that's not going to protect himself. So you're giving off that you care too much vibe. You're giving off that, it seemed like, in her head, psychologically, it seemed like I'm the only woman that he talking to. And if he ain't talking to other women, I don't want to talk to him either. You know, this is how women think. You know, that's just how naturally a woman think. They think that something might be wrong with you. You know, you might be toxic. You know, you might be the neighborhood guy that you know that's being talked about. You must be being talked about on social media. That's how women look at it. You know, when you care too much. You know, they don't look at you as view you as masculine. They view you as like feminine. Like, you know, they view you as like, why is he like, you know, so crazy about me? Why is he just all over me, like as if I am his mother? You know, this is how they think. Like, I'm not his mother. Like, you know, this is how women think. It's not masculine for a man to be all over a woman. You know, to care too much about a woman. You know, it can get annoying to a woman. Women get annoyed. You know, you ask your woman. You know, many guys in relationships do this. They be all over their woman in the bed, ask them, you know, what's wrong with them, and the woman be like, get off of me, or leave me alone now, or I told you to quit. Like, they're not attracted to guys that care too much. They you know, it's feminine energy. It's a sign of insecurity. That's what you showing her. You know, you showing her that you don't really love yourself, that you can't, you know, you're not secure with yourself by being alone. You know, if a man is not secure with himself when being alone, you don't truly love yourself as a man. No, you must master being alone as a man. You won't be all over a woman when you get into a relationship. If you master being alone as a man, you won't care too much. You won't. And you gotta put yourself first. A lot of you guys, y'all put yourself last. You gotta know how to put yourself first. See, by me being alone as a man and by me putting myself first, I can get into a relationship right now and I won't be all over my woman. You know, I won't be, you know, caring too much. You know, I won't be even having sex with her like a lot. I won't even be having sex with my woman a lot. I'll be dropping knowledge. I'll be doing YouTube videos. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel secure with myself. I've been alone enough to feel secure and not desperate to, you know, have a woman. It shows a sign of desperateness, guys. You know, excuse me, guys, my bad. It shows a sign of desperateness when you care too much about a woman. It shows that women don't like desperate men. You know, if a woman got a desperate man around him, she's just using him. You know, she's really not attracted to his energy, his vibe, that desperateness, that thirstiness. Women are attracted to that. And that comes right along with caring too much. It comes on, you know, it correlates, you know, with caring too much. And men that care too much, they tend to let their guard down, man. A lot of you guys that care too much about women, you know, you tend to let your guard down just so easily. You don't have a discerning spirit about women, you know, female nature at all. You know, that's not good, man. That's why a lot of you guys be ending up with the wrong woman. But guys, this is why, you know, this is why, you know, caring too much, it turns a woman off. Because it's showing her that you're not secure with yourself, that you're not comfortable with being alone, that you're really not, you know, what they say, a quote unquote, an alpha male. You're a beta male. You know, you're giving off that needy energy. Women don't like that. Women want men that want them, but don't need them. Hope you understood that. Women want men that want them, but don't need them at the same time. How you develop that mindset of wanting a woman, but not showing that needy energy? Get comfortable with being alone. You know, you got to get comfortable with being by yourself. You know, just take a week off. I mean, not a week. Take a year off or two just being alone by yourself. You know, once you get comfortable with being alone by yourself and you get into a relationship, you won't give off that needy energy. You won't give off that thirsty vibe. You be like, okay, you know, if you don't want to come over today, then you don't come over today. You're going to be telling, matter of fact, she going to be chasing you in a relationship. She going to be telling you, no, she going to be double texting you in a relationship. She going to be telling you, can I come over? Instead of you asking her to come over, she going to be asking you, can she come over? You know, because she spends time with you. She going to be all over you. Everything is going to switch in the snap of a finger. You know, when you get comfortable with being alone, when you're dealing with women. She going to be giving off that needy energy, that needy vibe. And she's supposed to be doing that. Because she don't want to lose her provider. She don't want to lose her protector. As men, we don't have nothing to lose. We don't have nothing to lose when we lose a woman. We don't have nothing to lose. You know what I'm saying? Because we can protect ourselves and provide for ourselves. But this is why, you know, this is the main reason, man. I hope you guys are learning from this video. You know, I'm just trying to open you guys' mind. A lot of you guys are just lost about women. You know, you shouldn't, you know, you shouldn't give off that need. See, a lot of you guys, the reason why a lot of you guys give off this needy energy, y'all care too much, because y'all don't care enough about yourself. Excuse me, you putting that woman up on a pedestal, man. A lot of y'all men be putting these women up on a pedestal. Because you insecure. You're not secure with yourself. You're not comfortable with being alone. You're not at peace with being alone. When you at peace with being alone, you don't care for a woman coming and going. No, you're not trying to you're not trying to impress a woman. Your woman gonna be trying to impress you in the relationship. Instead, you trying to impress her. You know, when you get comfortable with being alone, because you're gonna be more like, you know, to yourself. She gonna want to be around you. She gonna want to be in your world. Cause this how it's supposed to be. You supposed to, you know, a woman supposed to want to be in your world, not you want to be in her world. Not you chasing after her. You know what I'm saying? She supposed to be, you know, really being a helpmate to you, coming to you, you know, asking you what you need and what you want. This is how it's supposed to be. But, you know, when you care too much about a woman, that never happens. No, because you never were comfortable with being alone. You know, this is what happened. This is how you give off that needy energy. You know, this is what turns a woman off. Caring too much. You guys need to stop, man. Stop caring too much. It's nothing wrong with wanting women, but needing a woman, you know, giving off that needy energy, that care too much energy, that all over her energy. Like, women need space in relationships. Yeah, just like you need space. You know, but you're not going to want that space in that relationship if you're not comfortable with being alone. See, this is what happens. See, it all comes back down to you not comfortable with being alone. You're not going to want no space from your woman, and you're not going to be able to focus on your purpose if you caring too much about her. And this is how you miss reaching your full potential in life as a man. But I hope you guys come out of this video, man. Hope it helps you out. Y'all like, comment, subscribe, man. I'm just trying to, you know, enlighten you guys, trying to help guys out, you know, each and every way that I can. Like I said, man, there's nothing wrong with wanting a woman and loving a woman. But when you give off that needy energy and that all over her energy, women don't like that. They're supposed to be doing that towards you, really, because that's feminine trait. You know, she's supposed to need you more than you need her. She is. She's supposed to need you more, you know, than you actually need her. You know, you supposed to want her. She's supposed to need you as a man. You know, because you got more to offer. That's what I'm saying. Man, it's Kobe, man. I'm out.